you, Mr. President, and the United States delegation. On behalf of the Malaysian people, I extend to you our warmest greetings. Normally I would say Selamat Datang, which means welcome in our language. But since you grew up not far from here, you're one of the few leaders, world leaders, who will understand when I say Selamat Datang, sahabat saya. 48 years ago, a US president first stepped onto Malaysian soil. Back then, TV was black and white. The Monkees were topping the US charts with The Last Train to Clarksville. It's a good song. And The Sound of Music movie was winning Academy Awards. Today, Mr. President, you see not rubber trees, as Lyndon B. Johnson did, but soaring skyscrapers. They are testament to the transformation that is taking place here in Malaysia. And on this journey, we are thankful for the United States' hand of friendship. Over the past 2 months, the strength of our relationship has been revealed for all to see. From the day MH370 went missing, the U.S. lent its considerable expertise to the investigation and its unique capabilities and assets to the search effort. We are grateful to you for standing by Malaysia in our hour of need. The U.S. and Malaysia have a long-standing relationship. We established diplomatic relations on the day of Malaysia's independence in 1957. In the decades that followed, when ideological tensions tore at Southeast Asia, the U.S. and Malaysia remained firm friends. And over the past few years, we have been working to strengthen the bonds between us. Today, we see the fruits of this labor on the economy, on security, and on people-to-people relations. We are closer now than ever before. Earlier this morning, the President and I talked at length about the issues we face in the region and in the world, and we took significant steps towards our shared objectives. First and foremost, we agreed to upgrade our bilateral relations to a comprehensive partnership. This marks a new phase in our relationship with greater collaboration on economy, security, education, science, technology, and more. We also decided to reinvigorate the senior officials dialogue as a key forum for high-level discussion. Together, these agreements lay a firm foundation for further cooperation to come. Malaysia welcomes America's rebalancing towards Asia and its contribution to peace, stability, and prosperity in the region. Our continents share an ocean. We should be connected by common policy too. We believe all parties should share in Asia's remarkable growth story, provided they also share a commitment to the peace upon which it depends. On global security, the President and I agreed to strengthen cooperation in peacekeeping training. Malaysia has also decided to endorse the Statement of Interdiction Principles of the Proliferation Security Initiative. I express my appreciation to the President on the U.S. strong support for ASEAN and the East Asia Summit, and for the confidence they have expressed in Malaysia's chairmanship of ASEAN next year. As we prepare for this chairmanship, and as we bid for a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council, we seek a greater role in promoting global peace and regional stability. In these endeavors and more, our friendship with the United States is immensely valued. Just last month, Malaysia helped secure a comprehensive agreement in the southern Philippines, ending a conflict which claimed 150,000 lives and denying Al-Qaeda and its affiliates a possible foothold in that region. We have rejected religious extremism by establishing a global movement of moderates. On the South China Sea, President Obama and I both stressed earlier the importance of upholding universally recognized principles of international law, including United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. We agreed that the full implementation of the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties was vital, and that an effective code of conduct would enhance mutual trust. The President and I have agreed a US-Malaysia English Teaching Assistance Program, formerly known as the Fulbright Program. I'm happy to note that we've agreed on a bilateral work agreement for partners of diplomats, and I would like to thank President Obama for agreeing to consider Malaysia's participation in the visa waiver program. I'm glad that the US is now committed to provide technical briefing, security requirements, and information sharing agreements for this purpose. For centuries, our people have done business across the Pacific. Today, we continue to do brisk trade. Our bilateral trade has averaged at least $35 billion annually from 2010 to 2013. Well, last year, the United States was Malaysia's largest source of foreign investment, investing $1.9 billion in Malaysia and creating almost 8,000 jobs. President Obama and I welcome the progress made on the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement negotiations. Trade deals are always complex, but our countries are committed to resolving the remaining issues. I know all sides share our desire for an agreement that delivers the best for our citizens and our businesses. I would like to thank President Obama for his understanding of Malaysia's challenges and sensitivities in the TPP negotiations. Malaysia has always been a bridge between peoples and cultures, a trading nation bound by vital seas. We are a modern, progressive, Muslim-majority nation, a multi-ethnic, multi-religious society. We've long known the benefit of cooperation across borders, and we have long recognized the power of shared prosperity. In this context, it gives us sincere pleasure to welcome the U.S. delegation for this historic visit. Your presence here, Mr. President, will mark the beginning of the next phase of our partnership, with deeper friendship and a more comprehensive partnership. Over the past few days, we have found common cause on issues that matter, those that would deliver opportunity for our people and security for our region. And we have set the stage for a new phase of our relationship, one based on greater cooperation, needed to equal the challenges of our time. Thank you.
Selamat tengah hari. Thank you, Prime Minister Najib, for your warm welcome. I am very pleased to be the first U.S. president to visit Malaysia in almost 50 years, and it is wonderful to be staying in Kuala Lumpur, one of Asia's most dynamic cities. I want to thank Their Majesties, the King and the Queen, for their incredible hospitality at last night's state dinner and the wonderful display of Malaysian culture and in all its beauty and diversity. And I want to thank the people of Malaysia for such a warm welcome. Today, the United States is once again playing a leadership role in the Asia Pacific, and a key part of our strategy is expanding our ties with Southeast Asia, and that includes Malaysia. By virtue of geography, Malaysia is central to regional stability, maritime security, and freedom of navigation. By virtue of its economic progress that's evident for all who visit here for the first time, and by virtue of Prime Minister Najib's goal of making the economy even more competitive, Malaysia has the potential to unleash a new era of growth. And by virtue of its diversity, people from so many ethnic groups and backgrounds, holding different political beliefs and practicing different faiths, Malaysia has the opportunity to draw on the enormous strengths of its people. In the United States, embracing that diversity and upholding the rights and dignity of all our citizens has always made us stronger, and I believe it can make Malaysia even stronger as well. I welcomed Prime Minister Najib to Washington 4 years ago, and we agreed at that time to broaden and deepen the relationship between our countries. Today, across a whole range of areas, security, trade, regional institutions, we're working more closely together than ever before. And today I'm pleased that we're formalizing our efforts in a new comprehensive partnership. I'd note that we've also seen our cooperation during the response to the disappearance of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. And I want to again express the deepest condolences of the American people to all the families who lost loved ones on that flight. Malaysian, American, Chinese, and people from many other nations. As we have since the beginning of this tragedy, we're working closely with our Malaysian partners, and we will continue to provide all the assistance we can in their search and the investigation. And today, the Prime Minister and I discussed some of the lessons that are being learned from this tragedy and how nations, including our own, might continue to improve our cooperation moving forward. The comprehensive partnership we're launching today aims to deepen our economic ties. As the Prime Minister noted, Malaysia and the United States are already close economic partners, and we're working together on the Trans-Pacific Partnership to open up Asia-Pacific markets, boost exports, promote innovation and growth in both our nations. The TPP will support good jobs in the United States and Malaysia, and it will help Malaysia meet its goal to become a high-income economy by the end of the decade. Today, the Prime Minister and I discussed the particular issues of importance to Malaysia, and we agreed to work quickly to resolve those issues, consistent with a final high standards comprehensive TPP agreement. And tomorrow we'll have the opportunity to join some of our business leaders as they sign 3 commercial agreements worth more than $1 billion of new trade and investment between our nations. Our comprehensive partnership will expand our security cooperation. As a founding member of ASEAN and the East Asia Summit, Malaysia has already been a critical leader in building the institutions that can advance regional prosperity and security. Strengthening ASEAN unity and its central role in the region is a key part of our own American engagement in Asia. We very much agree with ASEAN's view and Malaysia's view that disputes need to be resolved peacefully without intimidation or coercion, and that all nations must abide by international rules and international norms. We welcome Malaysia's recent endorsement of the principles of the Proliferation Security Initiative, the global effort to prevent the tracking of weapons of mass destruction. We're aiming to step up our coordination on a range of challenges, from disaster relief to maritime security. And we are looking forward to working closely with Malaysia on all these issues when it chairs both ASEAN and the EAS next year. And finally, our comprehensive partnership will continue to strengthen the strong ties between our peoples, especially our young people. You know, the young women and men of Malaysia are brimming with potential, and we want to do more together to open the door of opportunity to everybody, regardless of race, religion, gender, or language. That's why the Prime Minister and I will be meeting with entrepreneurs from Malaysia, and why I'll be engaging with promising young leaders from across South Asia later this afternoon. And thanks to the tremendous success of our program to bring young Americans to Malaysia to teach English, the Prime Minister and I agreed to renew that program for several more years. You know, the time that I spent in this region as a child helped to shape my understanding of the world, broadened my vision, left me with a lifelong affection for the people and traditions of Southeast Asia, and I look forward to a new generation of Americans getting that same experience here in Malaysia. So, Prime Minister Najib, thank you again for your partnership, for your vision, for what our nations can accomplish together, not only for our two peoples, but for the peace and prosperity of this entire region. Terima kasih banyak.